Just whip up the entire $0 that you've paid to get in tonight and enjoy the wonderful comedy of Alex. Hey, woo!
How you all doing? All right there? Is that really loud in your ears right now? Very loud indeed. Good.
Hold it further away from your mouth.
What? This?
Yes.
Okay. Has anybody ever had to buy pads for their wife? Well, I have. The other day I was in Woolies and I got a text from her and it said, "Please get pads." And it happens to me every single month, and I'm always in like a state of denial. The first couple of minutes I'm like, oh, what does she mean, pads? Maybe she's taking up cricket, she wants some cricket pads. Or perhaps she wants an iPad. Oh, and then I'm starting clutching at straws, and the very last thing thinking, come on, what can it be? Maybe she sold the house, and she's bought a helicopter, and she needs a landing pad. Excuse me, can you just direct me to the landing pad aisle? Thank you very much. But no, look, I'm not an idiot. I know what she means, and it's lady business stuff. But a man would never text a woman saying, "Bring home cock cream." Now I'm faced with hundreds of choices. First of all, size. You know, there's small, medium, large, super, extra large. It's never entered my head what size vagina my wife's got. She had a baby, but it was a C-section, so I know she's not super. And then I was faced, with the problem. I had to ask a sales assistant for some help, and she was like, no, sir, no. It's nothing to do with size. How heavy is your wife's period? I've never weighed it. I was supposed to sit there and somehow collect it in a measuring cup, and then take it into the kitchen, put it on the scales, and what if I failed to deduct the weight of the measuring cup off the total amount, so it seemed like it weighed loads more than it actually was. And I ended up buying ultra super massive large pads. And she ended up with a huge bulge in her tight jeans, and we were walking down the street together, arm in arm, and men and women alike, a bit eyeing up my wife's huge prowess, thinking to themselves, fuck me, it's a she-male. And she's got a gigantic cock. Mind you, he's a big bloke, he could probably take it. Yeah. Then the sales assistant headed off to the safe haven of the mop aisle, leaving me perplexed with the pads. Pads with wings. What the fuck is wings? And how big are they? Are they massive like dragons' wings? Or are they tiny, little fluttery ones, like the golden snitch wings out of Harry Potter? Golden snitch wings for the scarlet snatch. And then there's ones without wings, for the less adventurous vagina, fear of flying, I don't know. What about invisible pads? Not daft, can't pull the wool over my eyes, just didn't bother with them. But I did wonder if an invisible pad is where, secret agents sort of write down all their classified information. And if they were ever out of stock, then if they ever ran out of invisible pages, then they'd always be in stock in the sanitary pad aisle in Woolies, because no woman in their right mind, surely they'd never buy an invisible pad. Unless, of course, you are an invisible woman. Because then it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Because if you're an invisible woman and you bought a visible pad, then all you'd ever see would be a pad walking down the street, or running for a bus, or jogging up to the lighthouse, I don't know, or perhaps having some fun jumping on a trampoline to see the pad, or maybe even doing aerobics in the park, sort of like that, up, down, left, side to side, up, down, left, so it would look like it was kind of flitting around. And if there happened to be a passing lepidopterist, then he might confuse the pad for some kind of albino butterfly. Especially if it was a pad with wings. And gradually, as time passed by, he would notice that it would be turning red. Well, sorry, I could say a different colour, like sky blue, but it wouldn't be true. The fact is, might be turning red. And if that happened to coincide with dusk, then he might get quite excited because he'd be somehow thinking that he'd be blending in with the sunset, and you might think he was a chameleon albino butterfly. And then he would go, wow, what's going on now? Look, it's fluttering as fast as it can into the ladies' lavatory. Why is he doing that? And then he would come out white again, adding further weight to his theory that he was an albino butterfly, because an albino chameleon butterfly, because he would be thinking that he was trying to blend in with the white tiles of the lavatory. But I did consider buying a pallet load of them, covering myself in them, and sneaking into the Blues Fest next year. Who's that covered in pads? Shh, you cannot see me within my cloak of invisible pads. And then, through all this confusion, I had a very clear memory of being on holiday in Thailand with my wife, and she got a period. She sent me down to get some pads. And the receptionist was just looking at me blankly as I was trying to explain the situation, and she just didn't understand me. And I did that stupid thing that, tourists do when they're on a holiday. They'll shout, and they'll use like some, ballpark Asian accents to sort of try and get understood. And it never works, and I did that. I made a sort of prick of myself, and I sort of turned into this like B-movie samurai warrior, and I kind of went, my wife, she need pad. She need pad. She don't have to be stay free or Libra. Can also be Thai pad. And then the receptionist headed off. I thought, brilliant, she's understood me, great. And not only that, she seems to understand that it's not man's domain to buy pads. 10 minutes later, she came back with a bowl of pad Thai. And then, meanwhile, back in Woolies, I realised I'd been stood staring in the pads for at least 5 minutes, and there were like 2 or 3 other women stood nearby, and I started to get paranoid that they thought I was getting turned on by sanitary pads. So like, every single one of these pads is going to touch a lady's vagina. Every single one of them's going to go inside ladies' underwear. And there must be like 1,000 on each shelf. That's 1,000 pads, 2,000 pads, 3,000 vaginas, 4,000, 5,000 fucking vaginas. Actually, it is quite arousing, isn't it? Thank you very much.
Big round of applause for Alex. Yes. Well, thank you everyone for coming out tonight. You've done excellent. I was at Lismore last night, and you were easily